Hey everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Gender Wars tonight. We had an amazing discussion. We had multiple callers call in. We jumped from topics from marriage to deadbeat moms and dads. Just a wide range of things, a wide range of views from a lot of different people, male and female. So with that said, let's just get into the show. We hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Gender Wars on SNBTV.com. I am your host, Kandee, and this is my co-host, Sheldon. How are you doing today, Sheldon?
I'm doing well. It's been a busy weekend for me, and actually a busy week, but it's been a good one.
Yeah, good.
Great day.
Good.
How's it been for you?
It's been good, busy as well. I was really excited to shoot a wedding with NMG Studios yesterday.
Yes.
Shout out to that and our Instagram. But it was exhausting, but I was really, really happy about it, and that kind of just made my weekend. So
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So today we are taking calls. We are. We've got some topics we're going to talk about. I've got to say what's up to the chat room because
Definitely.
we've got some new people that I haven't seen before, and then we've got some return people. Yeah, I always love it when our return people come in.
Right.
Joe G's, what's up?
I'm seeing Kia and Chris, Mr. Cameron Smith. Thanks for joining us.
Right. And a few other people. So get in the chat room, write a comment, even if it's just hey or what's up. There's quite a few people in there right now.
It is. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Yeah. And our engineer is going to be letting me know when callers are coming in. We're getting this stuff set.
Shout out to TB.
Yeah,
Amazing.
TB. So he's going to be screening calls and putting them on the air for us. So
before we get started, you wanted to explain to our new crowd of people what Gender Wars is all about?
Do I want to do that, or do you want to do that?
I can do it. Basically, you're now tuning into Gender Wars, the show where we give live advice. It could be relationship advice, life advice, financial advice.
Yeah.
Any type of advice that you feel like can be applied to your life. Sometimes we'll agree on the advice we give. Other times it will be a full-out war between us.
Right, which is the name, hence the name Gender Wars. And also, you can call in just to join in the discussion.
Definitely.
So you don't necessarily have to call in to have your own topic. You can call in and respond to someone else's topic.
Definitely, yeah. We definitely encourage that, as well as doing it in the chat as we're bringing up new topics.
Right.
Just right away, y'all. And if you're just joining us, make sure you put your name so that we can give you a shout out too. What's up, Michael?
Yeah, we've got Michael saying hi, so that's what's up. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for getting in the chat room, Mike.
All right, you want to get started?
Okay, so. But while we wait on calls, and is the phone number up on the screen, TB?
Thumbs up, yeah.
Great. So feel free to call in and let's get this show rolling. While we're waiting on calls to come in and while we're waiting on feedback, you mentioned that we had worked on a wedding.
Yes, sir.
And it really got me thinking, because this was a young couple. And a few months ago, about a month ago, I was at another wedding. One of my best friends who had gotten married, and he was about 25. He's 25. So, and that's another pretty young couple.
Mm-hmm.
It got me thinking, marriage and this younger generation, and if we value it, because there were. I had conversations while at the wedding, and I feel like that idea is controversial. I think some younger people say, no, we definitely understand the importance of marriage and we value it, and I want to be married someday. And then there's some people that's just like, I ain't trying to get married. I'm trying to kick it. I'm trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody worried about married. I'll get married when I'm 40. And I heard a whole lot of that for this younger generation. We're going to talk about that while people call in with other topics and other, comments and things like that. What do you have to say on that?
Well, honestly, I've thought about how young it seems like people are getting married, because I am 24, and it seems like pretty much 80% of the class that I graduated with is either engaged, married, starting a family, things like that. They're all doing these things. And for me, I just feel like I'm really young. Even though I feel like I have a level of maturity and everything, I do
Yeah.
feel like I'm young and I don't know how I'll be able to handle all of that. But I will say, I feel like back in the day, people got married a lot younger.
I hear that a lot.
I feel like people did get married a lot younger, but they took it more seriously. I feel like people are now getting married by their mid-20s. Everybody's married. 18 to 25, you know, everybody's getting married. But it seems like that group of individuals just doesn't value it as much as people who used to get married at that same age. So I don't think the age is an issue, because I always base everything off of maturity. But I do feel like the mindset of people is just different, which has made it a less serious thing. People are less serious about staying committed. People don't take the relationships as seriously. People don't take their role as a husband or a wife as seriously. And people don't even take the time to consider what your role in that marriage is. I feel like that's just changed a lot. Okay. Even though the age bracket seems the same, I feel like the mindset is different.
Do you think you have an idea on what has caused that?
I mean, what hasn't caused it in the world that we live in? Look at TV. Look at all of social media. Look at the media world in general. Look at the values that are promoted to the youth. Look at how our children are growing up. The people who are still in elementary school. Look at how different they are in comparison to how we were, and that's not even that long ago.
Yeah.
Our society as a whole has taken a huge change, in some ways for the better, and in some ways it's just gotten a lot worse. And we are stepping away from traditional things, and it seems like a lot of people are stepping away from strong values and morals, which I do feel like is why a lot of these serious, supposedly committed marriages are failing.
I've got a couple of comments that I'm going to read to you that we have in the chat room.
Okay.
The phone number is up on the screen, so call in and chime in. This is the time to call and get that interaction. We've got somebody that didn't have their name. They said marriage is coming back, like light-skinned brothers tried to. Now I want to say
I was just thinking about this light-skinned thing earlier. Oh my goodness.
I want to say to this person, you can go ahead and log yourself out if you're going to be disrespectful to us.
They're undefined. They're clearly not even logged in right now. So
yeah. Engineer, be ready to boot this person if they keep coming. I feel like that's a personal attack.
Okay.
And then we have another comment from Michael who says marriage is trendy, which is an interesting way to put that.
Right.
Marriage is trendy, but there are a lot of infidelity involved when the road gets rough. Do you agree with that?
I do. I do feel like, unfortunately, marriage has become just a thing to do. Everybody else is doing it, so why don't I jump on board? When I don't use the term trend for everything, just because a trend is something that kind of comes and goes. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like people have treated like it's a trend, how it's kind of like everybody else is doing it, so I'm gonna just jump on just to fit in.
Okay.
They don't put as much thought into it as they should. And I do feel like infidelity happens at that time, but that's where people's loyalty is shown in general. So I don't think it's just infidelity. I think it's all across the board. Mm-hmm. When the going gets rough, if you have no foundation anyway, it's all going to fall apart in every way.
Yeah. So. Okay. Well, we've got more comments. People keep throwing in your comments.
JLG made a good point. People don't really value what marriage really means.
And I do agree with that to an extent. I think what I'm seeing more and more is that people are getting married for the wrong reasons or for no reason. And obviously that doesn't last long.
Right.
So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Caller, thank you for calling in. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Cameron Smith, and I'm from Kansas City, Kansas.
We've got Cameron Smith on the line, folks. Cameron, you are our first caller. What's going on, sir?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the show. Had a good little meal with a couple of friends today. Also married and young like myself with a little kid.
Yes,
so just listening to what you all are talking about and kind of, seeing what advice I could give on the situation.
Well, okay. So break it down. you're a young couple, you and your wife. Break it
Yeah.
down. How did you get to this point? What separates you from everyone else in your, I don't know, age bracket? What separates you, and what makes you handle it? I don't know. I guess I could say the right way. Uh,
Well, I wouldn't really say that anything separates me. I don't feel like I'm, any different than anybody else. I know from a young age, because of who I am. I mean, the different things that goes into making you who you are, your parents, your upbringing, people around you. From a young age, marriage was, something that was on my mind.
yeah.
I went off to college, went off to the University of Minnesota, and had some fun, and I guess turned up, but that wasn't as fulfilling for me. And a lot of the different relationships and things that went on throughout my life weren't as fulfilling as the relationship that I always kind of had in the back of my mind that I wanted.
Sure.
Which was, my wife, to have kids. Just had our first son, December 30th. He's 5 months now.
Congrats.
So it's just kind of something that I always was looking forward to.
Yeah. So what do you think the problem is? And I know you're supposed to be asking us for advice, but this is the interesting.
Well, he said he wanted to chime in.
He wanted to chime in. This
From his
is the interesting because he is kind of living the conversation we're talking about. Talk about the trend and kind of people around you that are probably getting married for the wrong reasons, or like I said earlier, no reason.
Yeah.
Talk about how you feel about that, and if you think that's gonna help this generation or hurt this generation.
Well, it's kind of a catch-22. I see a lot of people that are married who I watch their relationships. I know they love each other. I know that, they have a stronger foundation and, they look good or they got a lot of money. I've seen that a lot. I have a lot of friends that are married. And then I've also seen people who, like I saw somebody in the comments said, do it just for status.
Yeah.
Just so they can say that they're married.
Yep.
One thing that I truly believe, as I look at kind of the generation before us, not pertaining to everybody, so I don't want nobody to get all offended and start, going at me. But the generation about 10 years, 20 years ahead of us,
yeah,
it didn't really seem like marriage was very valued. I think in part because of how many broken marriages they saw. It just wasn't something that looked very attractive. But I feel like our generation, in a way, wants to kind of fix things. But even then, you have some people just doing it just because they think that it's something to do. And marriage is definitely not something that you just want to jump into because your friends, all my friends are married, so I'm going to get married. Because it is a lot that goes into marriage. There's more good than bad, but there are some things that you really have to be mature in to really partake in marriage.
Excellent. Kandee, do you have any comments on that?
I think it was interesting that you said you feel like people are trying to fix it, but again, we have that conflicting body of people who are still doing it for the wrong reasons. And even those people who may be going about it wrong might still have that intention to try to do it the right way. So that's a really difficult situation to be in.
Yeah. Really
difficult.
Cameron Smith, I've got to ask you a question. This may be difficult, and listen, I'm assuming you have a happy marriage, and this is not even a possibility. But
yeah,
the infidelity and the cheating and the side chick era that we're in right now, how do you think that affects relationships as a whole these days?
I mean, I think you have to be honest with yourself. Some people get married and they still want to be a player. They still enjoy going out, getting a bunch of numbers. You know what I'm saying? When you're tired of that lifestyle, that's when it's time to get married. And I know for me, that time didn't last very long. It just wasn't, I didn't have time to keep giving out my heart and definitely, wasting money on girls that weren't going to be a part of my future. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But but I mean, you don't enter into marriage when you still want to, have those moments where you're getting numbers and still having a side chick, or marrying a guy because you see how much value he can add, but you're still wondering about other guys. Like, that's kind of the biggest part of that.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to me to watch people who are okay with settling for second, like being on the side. Like, I hope I'm not, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or step on any toes, but it's just kind of sad to me because I feel like every single person is special. Every single person has a lot on the inside that, is worth a lot. And whenever you're willing to just settle to be that late night phone call, or that, only certain times we go this place and that place, and I only talk to you when I need this, like, you're just wasting so much of who you really are and who you really could become, and I mean, but I definitely see that, and it's one of those things, man. Like, I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to sound like the perfect husband, and me and my wife, we do have a good marriage, but we have some conversations sometimes that people might not think that we're Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but I mean, it's just one of those things, man. Like, when you get married, you're marrying somebody because you love them inside, outside, and that's who you want to be with, not when you still want to see what's going on in the street.
Cameron, I've got one more question before we let you go and before we take our commercial break. You mentioned you were tired of, I guess, the single, the bachelor lifestyle, the party lifestyle. Do you think some people, think about some of your homeboys, do you think some of them will ever get tired of living that lifestyle, especially when we are living in a world where going out, taking tons of pictures, throwing it on social, all of that is kind of in high demand these days. It's like, I gotta post these pictures, and that lifestyle is being glamorized. Everybody's their own celebrity. Do you think that encourages people to not get tired of that lifestyle?
I mean, 100%. I mean, you turn on the TV and you got songs, I want to be with every girl in the world, and you turn on these absolutely ridiculous movies and things with people just living these unrealistic lifestyles that you could only live if you have millions and millions of dollars to throw around. Like, you can't live that life going to work 9 to 5, but it makes people want to go towards it. But I definitely think hold on right quick.
That's the wife right there. Get up here and wash these dishes.
But sorry, I gotta take care of this real quick.
You're fine.
Oh, we'll wait. Put us on hold.
I'm so sorry.
You ordered it?
Okay. All right, I'm back.
That's hilarious.
But I like I was saying, I definitely think that has a big part of that. But one piece of advice I give to some of my friends who, are still single or in a relationship and trying to decide if they want to get married.
Yeah.
You never want to be that 40-year-old guy in the back of the club with a hole in your natural, braids going around the hole.
Yeah.
Still trying to be that. You don't want to be that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to wait too late to, give up that lifestyle. And I truly believe that once you find the right person to build a life with, you'll find out that there's nothing you can do in clubs and streets, wherever you're meeting people at, that will ever be as special as what you can do with a spouse. So, but that's just the way I look at it. And, I know from being Cameron Smith that my opinion is not all the time agreed with, but that's just me. So.
Sure. Well, listen, we appreciate the call. I think that was an excellent call, especially,
Definitely.
with him living kind of the the life that we're talking about is rare.
Definitely.
So a valuable phone call. Thank you for calling, sir. We appreciate it. Keep tuning in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
See y'all in a bit. All right, we hope you enjoyed that brief commercial break. We are about to jump right back into our scheduled program, Gender Wars, here on the Slice Network. Do you want to say anything about our last topic before we jump into a new one?
It was a good first half of the show. We talked about marriage. We talked about this younger generation, if they value marriage as much as the older generations. I think it was a really good conversation. And we had a really, really good caller, Cameron Smith, who happened to be a younger guy who was married with a child and seemed to be doing it the right way.
Definitely. I know he said that he didn't want to speak out like he has this perfect marriage and everything, but I do feel like it's good for someone to give insight who, despite the struggles, is making it.
Absolutely. In the chat room, okay, let's pacifier, folks. And we've got the chat room who threw a bunch of really good comments on marriage too. We've got a caller on the line, so let's just jump right in and say, caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Crystal. I'm from Kansas City.
Crystal, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Got any comments or?
No, I just kind of sort of want to change subject.
Okay. Well, what topic do you have tonight?
Deadbeat dads.
Ooh-wee.
Deadbeat dads. And what about us? No, I'm just
know how?
Don't go there.
You said, what about him? Okay. My biggest pet peeve in men is when you get with another chick and you're taking care of those kids and you know you have other kids that you're not even taking care of.
Ooh-wee.
So let me make sure I've got this right. So a guy has a child with a woman. They don't work out. He leaves his child and goes with a new woman who has kids and takes care of those kids.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to pitch that to you first. and let me hear what you have to say. Then we're going to, Crystal, did you have comments on that, or you want us to just talk about that and invite the chat room to talk about it?
I just want that to be a topic. I want that to be the next topic for tonight.
Absolutely. Okay, so thanks for calling, Crystal. Do you want to stay on the line with us to chime in, or do you want us to go ahead and let you go?
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to stay on the line.
Oh, stay on the line.
Stay on the line.
Perfect. Okay. Kandee, go.
Okay. I honestly have strong feelings about the way people treat children in general, but that I don't understand how you can put some children above other children, how some parents have favorites and everything, and especially how can you not take care of anything that you birth? So for you to get with somebody else and be taking care of that and you're not taking care of what you create, I have a huge problem with that, and I do feel like that's a huge issue today.
Yeah.
I don't see why men will not take care of their kids in general, but then go and take care of other kids and not take care of their own. Okay. I really don't get that mindset behind it. Maybe you as a man can understand that, but that completely blows my mind.
I'm going to say one thing to Crystal, and I'm going to say one thing to Kandee. I know that there may be more men doing this, but don't act like it's just men. I'm pretty sure there's some women too, right? Can we say that?
Women doing what?
You're right. There's some women. There's some women too, but what woman will stand for a man who's not taking care of their own kids and being with them?
Well, I see women doing that too. I think that is, I think
slap in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, this is how I honestly feel about the situation. Because this is really two topics. There's deadbeat dads who's just not taking care of their kids, and then the added layer is, but you'll take care of someone else, whether it's someone else's kids, another woman, women, that type of thing. So I think but
then there's a big excuse like, oh, I don't want the drama with my baby mama. That's why I don't deal with my kids.
Well, you're punishing the kid,
right?
For sure. But I do think there are situations where women do make the situation stressful, where men will just say, not that this is necessarily right or wrong, but men will just say, you know what, I would rather just be out of the picture than have to deal with her because she's busting out windows and keying cars.
Right.
And we can't act like women don't do that these days.
Right, definitely. As a woman, I can say it.
I mean, they do that.
It kills me when there is a dude who does want to step up and the woman is the one who's giving them a hard time and making it harder. And it's like, all these dudes, we do have so many deadbeat dads. Why won't you take advantage of the one dude who wants to take care of his kids?
Yeah.
Like, it's so, I understand people feeling, you know, sour about breakups or I want to be with you, but it's not working and feeling bitter and everything. But that's just stupid to me.
Yeah. We got the chat room that's putting up. We've got people saying, ooh, good topic, touchy topic. Uh-oh.
Where are the women at in the chat room?
There are a lot of men.
Right.
We're so, and listen, this is my advice to you. If I could lend some,
Go ahead, give me some.
You're a strong woman for putting up with that type of situation.
I don't put up with it.
Well, dealing with the situation. I mean, because you've got to deal with it. You can't ignore it. So for having to deal with it, you're a strong woman for that. And it's really unfortunate, but it's going to make you stronger. And hey, I believe in karma.
Definitely.
I do.
Yes.
So that's all I'm going to say on that. Thank you for calling, Crystal. We appreciate the call.
We appreciate that, yes.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Okay. We've got other people in the chat room who are loving the topic. Cameron Smith is still tuning in with us.
Right.
You are some kind of sorry to pass up the opportunity to be a parent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I agree completely.
It looks like our engineer is saying we have another caller. Again, thank you, Crystal, for calling in and for doing so good. I think she said her son is 8 years old, taking care of him all by herself. And I know that has to be a long, hard road raising a child by yourself.
Absolutely.
So kudos to you for keeping up with that. And she said she doesn't deal with that. So
she let me know that real quick.
Right.
Oh, no,
I don't deal with that.
I don't deal with it. Yeah, we understand, Crystal. We understand.
Definitely.
Yeah. Who's our next caller?
Hi, my name is Tiara.
Tiara.
Hi, how are you today,
Yes.
Thank you for calling Gender Wars. Now, have you been tuning in with us lately or for this show, or are you just hopping on?
I'm just hopping on, but I actually did hear the last caller.
Perfect. Okay, so what do you have to say tonight? Are you commenting on that, or do you have another discussion?
I mean, I can keep that one going, kind of ish, but I just always think that as females, we always turn the topic to deadbeat dads. And I just really think that we as females, well, I don't have any kids personally, but I see a lot of people that say just because they have their kids and they're doing what they're supposed to do as females, and they're not as well. Like, they put so much pressure on the dads, but they're still not doing what they're supposed to do as well. Like, I feel it's very unfortunate that a lot of males are not stepping up to the plate, but we need to be, as females, not beating them down in front of our kids as well, and then be a little bit more of a supportive system as well. Like, we always say what they're not doing, and then for the little things that they do to keep them going in the right direction, we should praise them for what they are doing. Sometimes. I mean, because sometimes we need a little bit of encouragement. Like, this is what you're doing, because as some dads, they might not have the opportunity to learn from their own fathers. I mean, it's just a pattern that we need to stop. So we need to praise them for what they kind of do as well and kind of get them going in the right direction. So they need some motivation. But that's just what I was thinking about when the last person was calling too.
Absolutely.
You know, and then especially with her giving the shout out for that. Like, we need to kind of switch and go in another direction. If they're not doing what they're doing, I mean, let that go and you still do what you have to do for your son or for the many other parents out there.
Now, Tiara, you are most definitely on my side. It sounds like this is Gender Wars, but you're definitely on the male's side, or at least my side, which exactly how because I feel like we do kind of get beat down pretty harshly.
Yes,
but
I do think so.
but what I want to ask you, and this is kind of relating back to our last caller, it must be difficult. I've never been in a situation, but it must be difficult. Like she said, it's a slap in our face to see this person providing for other people. I am playing devil's advocate because I do agree with you completely, Tiara. But doesn't that kind of stir the pot a little bit to just kind of make the situation harder to be positive, I guess?
Yes, I mean it does, but at the end of the day, we need to focus on what we need to do. I mean, because sometimes you can't change people. Unfortunately, you just have to play the hand of cards that life deals you with. I mean, you can't focus on the negative so much because at the end of the day, you still have a job to do as well. Don't put so much time and energy into something like that. If he's not stepping up to be a dad, you still have to do what you have to do for your son, or I mean, not just last caller, but anyone. I mean, you still have to move forward, and I think that's what we need to generate towards as well.
Absolutely. Kandee, you have any comments?
But I would like to say that I don't pick sides. I always straddle the fence. Like I am a female. I don't pick sides, and I like to look at the good and the bad, especially with me not having kids. But all of my friends around me have kids too, and this is the same thing that I tell them too. If someone's not doing what they're supposed to, keep going. And what I really like to comment on is that my friends have hooked up with guys who had kids, and then they're not doing anything for their previous kids. I don't think it's wise to put yourself in that situation. You don't have kids with him yet. You keep going forward. If he was a deadbeat before, he's probably going to be a deadbeat with your child, too.
Perfect. Tiara gives so much information. I'm not smart enough to process that all at once. I need to go back and rewatch the show and kind of take notes. Talk slower, Tiara. Talk
like if you're dating someone and they have kids before
because
you,
we only have
you
a
can
set
look
amount
into
of
their
time. This isn't the caller show. This is our show. So you're at a perfect speed. You need to think faster.
I'll try.
Okay. But
comments, Kandee.
Well, actually, I have brought up this topic before, and I usually do get a lot of crap because I do talk about how hard women do make it on men. Because we are so negative, we're constantly calling men dogs. We're saying, "Oh, you're not good for this. You're not good for that." And I do feel like we spend a lot of time tearing our men down instead of building them up. And I just do feel like that's the case. At the same time, though, even though I do not have children and I haven't been in that situation, I completely understand any anger, bitterness, or whatever that any woman in that situation is harboring when she's seeing a man not taking care of her own child and someone else's.
Yes, I can believe that.
Not saying that. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tiara.
I was going to say, well, do you think that when we're dating someone, because these are topics that we should discuss when we're even dating someone. I mean, like not when you first date someone, you sit down and it's like, oh, do you want kids? But when you progress and you think that you like this person, I think that these should be topics that you kind of discuss if you're, with someone longer than 3 months, 6 months, and you see that you guys are getting serious. I think, too, like you should start talking about kids. Like, are we on the same page as wanting kids? Do we have the same parenting styles? I think that we sometimes, when we're with someone and we really like them because they're cute or whatever it may be, that we ignore those little red flags.
I will say, though, I completely agree with you. I always say these are conversations we should have. I do feel like one of the problems is people are screwing each other for 1 month and then ending up with a child, and all those conversations they should have had when they're in that lovey-dovey phase aren't being had because they're basically being just screwing around, playing around with people, having side chicks, and a lot of these situations are happening by mistake. So when that's the case, you skip over what we value, what we agree on, everything, and go to immediately, you helped me screw up my life. So now we're at war. We're going to be bitter and everything.
That is really good.
So definitely, I completely agree with that.
And I think about the marriage part too. Like we don't discuss that as well. And I think that's why we jump into something too, because we don't discuss it as well. So it goes more, it's marriage and, the deadbeat baby dads, because we don't take that time to really get to know the other person. We do it all for status.
Yeah. Joe G says in the
chat. So those are my thoughts and my comments.
Okay, well, we appreciate your call, Tiara.
Thank you.
You are amazing. Join us every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And feel free to call in again.
Definitely.
Great comments.
Definitely.
Thanks.
And honestly, I was happy to hear her perspective because, like I said, I do get a lot of crap for presenting that view of, we're dealing with a lot of deadbeats. We're dealing with a lot of dudes who sleep around. We're dealing with a lot of dudes who cheat and all of that stuff. But we as women do have a lot of control and do have a lot of power in showing support and positive encouragement and shedding light on better things and things like that.
Yeah.
Because harboring that bitterness isn't going to get you anywhere.
I think if both parties could just put a little bit more effort
right
into being positive.
Right, definitely.
I think the outcome would be huge.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of our viewers really are getting at.
And honestly, I feel like a lot of issues we have are because people point the finger a lot instead of kind of just trying to step their game up and then, like she said, communicate about these things and try to meet each other halfway. That halfway thing isn't there. It's very much you're the one in the wrong, and it really just pushes us further away and causes more issues. Right.
I think if you look at every situation like, okay, how is this going to benefit the child? And if you just focus on the innocent person out of the entire scenario, that may be a smart approach. I think that's probably my advice on the topic. I don't have kids either, but I would always focus on, okay, I need to make a decision with this chick, my baby's mother. What's going to benefit the child? Right. And I think it'll always be a smart decision. Right. Considering the kid always. I can't even keep up with Cameron Smith and Glenn Moore's conversations back and forth.
JLG's is hopping in there too.
Right. They got their own show happening.
I am so happy to see so many men, even though I'm like, where are my ladies at? I'm just like, I'm really happy to see these men really talk about these things. Yeah. Especially considering it is a topic we're bringing up, what men need to be doing, why marriages are failing and everything. And these men are expressing views. So I'm assuming they're either all in relationships or, have been through enough trials to kind of find their way through things. So I'm really happy about that.
What I like is that, because we've got women in the chat room too.
Right.
It's really strange. It seems like the men are kind of saying we've got to do better, and then the women are saying, and like Tiara, and then there's Kia said there's deadbeat moms too. There's moms not doing the right thing too. Right. I thought this was going to be a very divided topic.
No.
But it seems like it's kind of flipped.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right.
Okay.
I do think the issue that it is that a lot of people do see these issues and they'll say, oh, this is what's wrong with females, this is what's wrong with men, but there are a lot of people acknowledging that, but there aren't enough people acting on that.
Sure.
So I do encourage y'all who are saying these things, take these messages out into the real world, because talking about them is the first step, but actually doing it, exercising it in our lives is what's really going to make an impact.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have a deadbeat mom or dad that you know that's doing their kids wrong, doing their, wife or husband wrong, bring it to these people.
Yeah.
If it's in your place to do so with these people, do so.
Absolutely. We've got Glenn Moore, who is on Slice Network's Monday show. Glenn, feel free to call in to right now if you want to kind of warm up the audience for tomorrow's show and talk about LOL that comes on at 8 p.m. Mondays, every Monday. And they took a break because of Memorial Day last Monday, but they're back. They're live tomorrow. So, Glenn, if you want to give us a call and warm us up for tomorrow's show, feel free to do that.
Definitely.
While we're wrapping up, and if there's any other last-minute calls, how'd you feel about today?
I'm really happy about today. I really expected to get that swarm of people kind of calling in, wanting to vent and everything, and I feel like we got a lot of people giving insight. Even the person, Crystal, who called in about the deadbeat dad, she still gave some type of insight and wanted it to really just be a conversation. Yeah. She shouted him out and everything, but she really just wanted it to be a conversation and see what people said. So I was really happy about that. I really appreciate that. I think our chat room was amazing. Shout out to everybody who was active the entire show.
Absolutely.
Chiming in. I feel like our callers, our chatters really helped carry this show tonight. We really didn't have to say much. Yeah. So really happy about that. Looks like we have one more caller tonight. What is your name and where are you from?
This is Glenn from KCK on LOL.
How are you doing, Mr. Moore?
Yes, sir.
Hello. What's up, fam? What's good with y'all?
Hey, we're just doing a show right now.
Right, so I'm saying, just a little bit, just trying to keep representing Kansas. I see y'all doing y'all thing. GW making it hot.
That's right. So you're going to be on the show tomorrow on LOL. What you got in store for us?
Man, I need to get with the producers to find out exactly what we're gonna be talking about. But I know whatever it's gonna be, we're gonna bring that realness. We're gonna make sure that KC is represented the way that it needs to be. We're gonna put Slice on the networks and put Slice on the air, and we're gonna make it happen. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I want to ask you one more question. The first show that you all did has gotten the most views on the network. I think it's the number one.
Yeah,
for this season, it's the number one show. How you feel about that? All the positive feedback.
Man, I'm sitting over here with the Kool-Aid smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? I can't help it. It's all good. That's what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City love us, so we're gonna love them back. We just trying to go out and do exactly what we can for who we can, and we appreciate Slice putting us on the air, and my boy Sheldon and the photographer sitting next to him just doing what they do. We just appreciate Kansas City just coming out, showing love and representing. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, Glenn, it was great calling in. Again, you can tune in tomorrow.
Yes.
8 p.m.
Yes.
for LOL. Now,
8 p.m.
Yeah, it's a little later at night, and it's a little more, I don't know.
Not family friendly.
Not exactly family, because they go a little deeper in all these topics.
They do.
And
it's adult. I mean, we're adults, but I mean, this is a panel of adults talking about things from a more mature,
and funny
way.
Right.
So jokes
with a comedy twist on it.
Right.
But we're gonna make it do what it do. We appreciate Gender Wars setting the stage for us, and we just gonna go ahead and make it happen. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, Glenn, thanks for calling in. We appreciate that. Kandee, let's wrap up the show.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir.
Good luck with y'all. Keep up doing the good work.
Thank you.
Y'all doing real big things.
Thank you.
All right, holla.
Take care.
Our callers have been just hosting
the
show for us.
Right.
They gonna get me.
I honestly feel like the first half I was just like, yeah.
Callers gonna get me laid off.
Right. Okay. So with that said, we appreciate you all tuning in.
Yeah.
With all of our topics tonight, from marriage to deadbeat dads and moms. Let's throw that out there.
Yeah.
And just all the feedback that y'all gave. Y'all were amazing. The chat room, the callers, everybody. We appreciate you. With that said, we will be live again, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time next week with Gender Wars. Make sure you write in at advice@snbtv.com if you want us to read your email, and you can always call us at the number on the screen. So with that said, we will see you all next week at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.